do it. I don't know what that system is though.
Yeah, so I don't mess with BNI. I don't mess with BNI. This is most supposed to be meant for free, and at least just covered by Hundo. Hello, Destiny. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. Hey.
So we're slightly open at the moment, Destiny. Usually what I'm the doorkeeper. Well, I guess you can call it doorkeeper, greeter, host, whatever you want to call it. Just so you know, during the meeting, unless you're called on, which I believe you're actually going to be called on at some point, just have your mic muted because background noises and stuff. I'm pretty sure you already know all this, but it's just kind of my job to go over it. And then have a pen and paper in case you want to take notes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're good on that though. And since we're right now the only people here, we're not like be muted now, unless you're Chris, because he's special. I should say President Raymond. I need to get into that habit.
Yeah, I'd like to be early. I wasn't expecting anyone to actually be on yet, but
Oh yeah, we usually just kick it off at 20 minutes early. It's still very young. We're still a very young organization. Just give you the back brief because I didn't get a chance to talk to you yet, and just getting thrown into the fire here. But definitely wanted to just let you know that what you're doing is phenomenal. Doing that emotional part, and I'll tell you, I'm a black and white kind of guy, so it's difficult for me to actually get the emotional colors and stuff like that. And you're looking to network, and this is exactly it. So if you want to sit back, I know you have another appointment, but we can come up later on today if you want to make another appointment with me and a couple of the leaders here. If you got time today, because you said you had another appointment in what, 30 minutes, give or take?
yeah, it's just about 2:30. I had pushed another one back because you both were like 2 o'clock, and then I was like, okay, but they can push theirs back a little bit. So I was like, okay, well let's do 2:30 because then I have another one at 3, and then I think 4, and then 5. So yeah, today's a busy day with a bunch of meetings for me. But yeah, I mean, I can definitely be on, the first 15-30 minutes. And then if you guys want me to get on later and talk, I'm available. I think 5 is I'm training someone at 4 my time. So around 4:30 my time, I'll be free again.
Okay, well, I'll let you know for sure, but it definitely, yeah. So
I was actually thinking, now that I look back at it, I think you're one of the people who you'd sent me a message at one point in Messenger, and I just never responded to it.
Me?
Possibly. No, I guess it's not you. It's someone who looks a lot like you. They interview veterans or something like that
Gotcha.
for their podcast is what I think it is.
Oh yeah, I had a couple of those too, and I was like, yeah, like I need to know how that works. Like the podcast.
I just get spammed by so much stuff. It's not even funny. 90% of it is crypto investing or AI bots or people wanting to make a website for you. And I'm just like, good God, people, you need a better way of actually selling your services other than to spam the crap out of people. I work in an MLM, okay? And the first thing I teach people is how to not spam everybody that you're at, social network marketing and all you care about is selling crap. Because that doesn't work.
So yeah, you got any questions for me, Destiny? So I can answer. You got anything? So I can get you up to speed a little bit. I know you're rocking and rolling. You're 50 million miles an hour going at, so.
I mean, yeah, I guess so are you guys, let me fix my camera. Are you guys like networking as well, or like what?
So we're focused on cultivating a full holistic point of view of veterans, right? So my focus is veteran claims. I teach people veteran claims. That's my coaching, and I teach business, and I teach WordPress development, such as making websites and apps. Those are 3 things that we teach. And on top of that, it's not just like here. What we're building is actually a social networking platform that's like Facebook. So you have your own Facebook in a way, that's only veteran only and stuff like that. So that's why we're trying to see what other people are doing as veteran services like yours, and see, would you want to collaborate on some level or partner with, offering services that we don't do. And, that, for example, the VP is a 40 years in business coaching. He's 60 years old, and he's been doing business coaching for 40 years. So that's his profession. Like he's like a guru. Am I right on that, Ian?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm going to be working on as well is I am going to set up, and it's going to be under one of the paid membership groups, but I will be setting up a business networking system where we help each other network, get referrals, and build each other's business. But one of the reason it's going to be under the paid membership is because there's going to be two levels of it. There's going to be a free level, but there's also going to be a paid membership level. The paid membership level is obviously people who are more serious about it, whereas the free is probably more teaching people and getting them to the point where they can get into that paid membership level. But there will be a networking aspect of it. Does that make so?
Right.
Because
So it's
all
really
businesses need that. So
right. And another aspect is, which I'll send you a link in when you get time. You can actually register to it. It's in a very early beta phase. You get your profile. It's very beautifully designed. And there's a rank structure. For example, there's E1 all the way to sergeant, to the general of the Army or general of the United States Command. So we're going to have three different commands within each country of NATO countries. So there's 31 countries that we're targeting. So we're starting with the United States. We're going to create the active duty one. So that's going to be our generator for making sure we can help veterans before they transition out from active duty. That's our main target goal, and also veterans that are on the sideline. And then we create the family support system. So the reason they're all separate is because active duty, or we can't have government information being leaked, or anything like that. It has to be closed house. It's top, it's got to be everything classified, like level. Because we're processing CAT cards and common access cards and all that other stuff, right? So that's got to be separate. The family support system has to be separate because veterans are going to be talking about getting blown up by IEDs and stuff like that, and we don't need the kids and the husband and wives actually doing that. So it's a tremendous project we're working on. It's been 38 days, and we already have 150 people sign up, and we've been in appointment after appointment after appointment. It looks like your calendar on a Sunday, so what the greatest thing about the design is it's literally that from E1 to E4, we focus on helping the veteran, right? From those rank structures, right? We kind of use the general. It's not like saying, so we focus on helping that veteran. The next level, we focus on helping them once they're helped and they have all their services they need, whether it's housing, banking, financial, business coaching, VA claims, this, that, the third, whatever, moral support like you have, right? Then they can volunteer their time and they can go up in rank within our structure. So they can say, okay, for example, actually Captain Ian now, he's actually just I'm going to tell him later, but he got promoted today, and so did another member, and that actually has authority within our structure. That means they're making decisions without the commander in chief and the vice president, right? So we're mirroring the military structure. You're in the Army, right? Right, in the National Guard, right?
Yes.
So we use the Army rank right now because it would be too much confusion to have all the different ones, right? We just kept it to one, and that was it. We decided Army because it's the biggest branch, and there tends to be a little bit more Army people than all the other branches. So it's just for simplicity reasons, and instead of rewriting our own rank structure. So I hope this is a lot of information for you, but it's a huge project, and someone like yourself what you're doing is fantastic. You got nothing but praise. I even registered to your organization, I think last night, and I got approved this morning. So another thing is everything is verified. For example, every veteran needs to show us or be able to say, hey, I'm a veteran, right? I got a DOD and this and that. So, and once you're verified, we verify you. And veterans know that they're talking to a veteran. We're still working on that system to make sure that it's streamlined, like when you send your payment through, and we can just screen it, snapshot, and boom. These things cost money, right? So.
Right.
So it's a massive, massive undertaking. Is that making any sense yet?
Yeah, no, it does. And I'm just super excited to just kind of see where, everything goes. And kind of like you guys you were saying, like networking and putting other businesses out there. That's kind of what I'm doing on the Vet Talk website as well. Is uploading like other Vet Talk, uploading other veteran businesses onto the website as well. That way it's like uplifting each other.
Mhm.
I got the idea after someone like about a month ago actually basically told me like, well, his exact words were, I'm doing all of that. I'm not telling you you can't do it. I'm just saying good luck. And I was like, oh, and I was like, well, I don't want to be that way. I want to uplift other veterans. So I took his negative and I turned it into a positive. So,
Hi,
I love
Destiny.
that.
hi,
I'm
All right.
Joe. Finally, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you too.
All right, everyone. So if you're not going to be talking, go ahead and mute your mics for now. There will be a Q&A at the end of the session. So there will be like an open house kind of thing. So there will be plenty of time for talking. Just because we don't want background noises or anything of that nature.
Yes, sir.
For anybody who's curious about this and trying to get some information down, I would recommend having pen and paper because note takers are money makers. And so this is mostly an informational meeting. What we do here is we pass out information and updates about what the Hundo Club is doing and where we are going. And if you need more information after that, you can ask to basically be talked to one-on-one or with the whole leadership, depending on what you're asking for. And we still got a couple minutes before we get started. Christopher, do you want me to hold off a little bit so we get more participants in here, or go ahead and get started?
Yeah, you run it. You run the show, man. It's your show. You got it.
Gotcha.
You got it, Captain.
All right. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes then. So we have a couple more people who said they were gonna be here. So I want to give them a chance to actually show up.
Roger that. Welcome, Troy.
Hey, how's it going? I'm trying to fix my camera right now, actually.
All good. If you guys wanted to go ahead and put your name and where you're coming from in the chat, you can do that. So I can see where all we're coming in from. Kind of cool to see that usually. I'm from Champlin, Minnesota. And I believe it is actually a sunny day today, ironically enough. Our president is currently based in Ecuador. Welcome from Ecuador. Welcome Destiny from Oklahoma. Wow. You can tell that clock setback really messed me up today. Welcome Joe from Kansas. So to my knowledge, we do have quite a few updates today. So it should be kind of an exciting meeting. Although we are missing our vice president, he is currently traveling and unable to come, which is, to his loss, but we'll figure out how to work without him, right? All right, so I'm going to wrap this in. So everybody, I have the pleasure and honor of introducing you to our president, President Raymond. I have personally watched him drop everything that he was doing to help other veterans who are currently in a crisis-like situation when they were basically about to be homeless. They had kids that they were having a hard time feeding and so on and so forth. He is very artistic and creative. He's currently the man behind both the website and all of our logos and everything that we've created. He's also the designer of Hundo. He came up with the idea of what Hundo is. He ran into somebody that he got along with really well, and they've worked for years to get it to where it is today. And it's my honor and privilege to participate with that leadership team. He has also run multiple successful businesses before this, so it's not his first rodeo. And when he was in the military, he earned more medals in his first 4 years of service than most officers earn in 10. So I have the honor and privilege of giving you to President Raymond.
Thank you, Captain McDonald. So I want to tell you that what we're doing is actually telling the vision. So we're going to get exactly where we are and where we're trying to get to. So at this point, we're at the point of upgrading our server. We went through our chief security officer, Daniel Kay, who's not currently here yet. So we're going to go forward with the new server upgrade, and it's going to give us about 16 gigabytes of RAM versus the 2. So that's going to increase our powerful on the power scale tremendously. So what that does is that allows us optimum security. We're partnering with AWS. That allows us to have the top of the line CPU and processors. So when we launch our app, right, and we're gonna that increases the fold by 88%, because 88% of people use apps more often, right? So we're looking at this immediate issue, and we're looking at also the short-term issue of that should be about 2 to 4 months of between the production of our app and into the launch phase. So we're going to do a soft launch phase before we get to the great vision of actually serving the 31 NATO countries. This is the first housing event. This is our first event. We're going to stick with the United States. If you haven't heard this before, then we're going to grow out and have the family support, and then we're going to have the NATO support, because the NATO countries, you know, they don't have $812 billion or $811 billion budget to play with, and we're still suffering here in the United States. If we can't get it right here, right, we can't get it right over the across the border to our allies. So that's the way we're going to do. It's going to be a social change as well. It's going to help with the veteran homelessness. It's going to solve a ton of issues. Why? Our goal is to train and develop individuals from what personal problems they have, okay, from a holistic point of view. So we get a new member coming in, right? The first thing is not how can they help, right? Is how can we as a collective people help each other and serve that person. And then once that person is at set marked, like for example, we're working on this is part of the vice president's project, is to make sure every person that comes in has a personal website, has it already sales funnel and everything else. That way I work on the VA coaching. Right now, we're actually have a meeting on Monday with Legal Shield to partner with Legal Shield. We're doing things that are going to change the name of the game and taking care of veterans. So it's a holistic point of view, and such as Vet Talk. We have Vet Talk today. Her name is Destiny, and she's coming with a new emotional response to it. Before we pass it on to Vet Talk, Joe, would you give us our little bit of sit rep on the VEPS program, or Veteran Entrance Processing Station program, please?
Sure, be happy to. Thank you.
Captain.
So basically, we have a couple of processes that we will come in. When they first come in, we'll have their information. We'll identify where they're at, kind of what their needs are. Our president will give them kind of an orientation briefing, give them a little bit more of a lowdown on what we're at. If for some reason I will find out where they're at, and immediately go ahead. If there's something that needs to be addressed right away, I will get a hold of local support in that area and get our veteran taken care of. So if they're homeless, or if they're they have a medical emergency or something like that right away, we will get them the support right away to help them and get them stabilized, and then we could work with them further after that. We're going to be the kind of the first response on that. But if they just reach out, it's basically we're going to hold their hand, because this is going to be all new. They're not going to know what to do. It's going to be the buddy system, going in there, and We're gonna make sure everything flows easily. It's easy to understand. Not gonna be a lot of pressure. It's already gonna be nervous as it is. There could be anxiety. So we're gonna try to alleviate that and make them, feel calm and know that they're taken care of. Um, there's always a lot of stuff going in our lives that we don't know, but we're here to help.
All right. Thank you. Destiny, you want to tell your beautiful intake of what brings you here?
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Destiny. I'm the owner of Vet Talk. I'm not a veteran yet. I'm still serving. I've been in the Army, Oklahoma Army National Guard, going on 4 years now. So basically what Vet Talk is it's a mentor program, a peer support network, resources and information. So basically my mission right now, or my mission with the business in general, is to connect veterans and service members with each other through online video calls, Zoom call like we're doing right now. That way they can receive support and guidance. Vet Talk believes that fellow military members are best suited to understand and help other veterans and service members, and that by connecting with other veterans, we can build stronger relationships, find support, and adjust to the civilian life more successfully. Part of the reason I came up with Vet Talk, I work for Champ VA, and I had a call from a veteran. His daughter was in a mental hospital, and he basically felt like it was his fault. But before he opened up to me, he, like he was about to, and then he was like, never mind. And I was like, like I'm in the military, I understand if you want to open up to me, like I'm here to listen. He basically said he felt like it was his fault that his daughter was suicidal because he was suicidal and he had alcohol abuse programs, and he kind of just went on. And I was just listening to him. Well, before he hung up, he told me that he felt much better after talking to me, and that there was many of them like that out there, and to please fix it. And it just really got me thinking on what I could do to help other veterans out there. I did a little bit of research. Veteran hotlines don't really seem to be the best. A lot of it is when you call a hotline, you always get someone different. Being in the military, we go through a trauma, and nobody likes to repeat that trauma. So with Vet Talk, you get to schedule with someone who has, either in the Air Force like you, was deployed like you, someone that you have common ground with, and then you don't have to continue to repeat your trauma to different people. You can continue to schedule with that same person and work through that. A lot of reasons why people in general commit suicide is because they feel alone, which was something that he also brought up to me, was feeling alone where he lives at because there's no one military around him. So Vet Talk is planning on doing a few Vet Talk events this summer. We're going to continue to do Vet Talk events as we expand. That way it can bring veterans together, and they can see, oh, I'm not alone, and they can connect with other people, and they can build other friends outside of just the Zoom call that they're having with their mentor, but they can meet other people while doing these Vet Talk events. The peer support, we want to do peer groups, but it'll probably be later again once we kind of expand a little bit more, where like we might do like a session once a month, or like once every week at like a coffee shop, or what have you. Again, just so that way we can connect. And then as far as the resources and information, Vet Talk uploads other veteran-owned businesses on our website. We do have someone who gets donated a bunch of like clothes and household items to help veterans and service members. So that's something that's uploaded on the website, along with food donations. And then like dog training, I have someone that trains service dogs. So there's a lot that's kind of going into Vet Talk right now. And like Chris was saying, as kind of the emotional side, he was telling me earlier, he was like, I'm not really emotional. I'm very emotional. I can feel people's emotions. And I think that's why those words that veteran said to me that day have stuck with me every day since then. Because it just shows that the VA is not doing, what they should be doing for veterans, and that's not fair. And then also with veteran suicide hotlines, if it gets to a certain point, they actually just tell the veteran to go to the VA office, Well, VA offices aren't open on the weekend, and not everything requires a veteran needing to go to the hospital to be seen. Sometimes, like he was saying, they just need someone to listen. And that's what I'm hoping to be able to provide for veterans and service members.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Destiny. I think it's awesome. And Joe, it looks like you're itching over there, Captain Joe. So pick it up. It sounds like something we can definitely incorporate. And this touched a touch point as a touch point for Joe. And as you said,
Absolutely.
I'm not a very emotional person. I'm very black and white, and it's just my chemical compounds in my brain. It's nothing I can do about that.
Destiny,
But I
that
understand.
that really hits a a chord with me, for sure, because I've seen that firsthand myself. And so I feel you very much, and feel your passion with that. That's something that is definitely needed. I've, with my business, I run into veterans as well, and I see that, and I've had spouses ask, hey, do you know anywhere where we could just, set up a weekly, coffee meet with veterans and stuff like that, just to have them, get the other veterans out of the house and just have them have that camaraderie and, just talk and stuff like that, something as simple as that, yeah, this is definitely a need, and this will be something that would definitely be brought up to leadership for sure, and you know, yeah, I'm definitely liking it a lot, and I'm so happy I found you and that you're here. Appreciate it very much.
All righty. I guess I'll take over from there. So this last week we had our first actual leadership meeting, which is a big step forward. And there were a couple votes that we went over. And the first vote that we went over that affects everybody is that we are going to have a presentation from Legal Shield for the leadership team to decide if Legal Shield is right for our organization or not. And then we went over a little bit of the finances and talking about some of the things that we're going to push those towards. And then I believe after that, we are working on updating our rank structure so that our rank structure is a lot more defined. And that way people like me, because I was having a lot of confusion with it, I'm a Marine, and a lot of the Army ranks and titles don't make sense to me. We keep it simple.
Stop eating the crayons.
But so we went over that, and I will pass it over to President Raymond for promotions, recognition, and anything of that nature that needs to be done this week.
All right, thank you, Captain Ian. So we have two awesome people and individual today. So Ian going from an enlisted service member within our group to a captain. Congratulations. We have Joe. We have Joe as well. So those are two individuals. I dropped it inside the link right there inside the chat. So they actually, from today on, when they are dealing with people within their jurisdiction, within their area of expertise, they're going to be actually having authority and to self-regulate. The reason is because they have proved that they can actually lead the organization, and it doesn't need to be micromanaged. Each segment is its own thing, and that's the greatest power. So, for example, as Commander Ian brought up, that what does the rank structure mean? What is the role of an officer? An officer makes decisions for the organization under its umbrella, correct? It's the same as the military. So they have full concept and idea of what they want to do within the framework of what Hundo's direction is to improve the quality of life of a veteran holistically, emotionally, spiritually, socially, economically, and physically. So if it's somewhere in that realm, and it falls and also that counts housing, such as therapy sessions, anything that is going to be in its own command structures. It's a huge thing that we're building. It is massive. We're going to have thousands and thousands and thousands. Thank you so much, Destiny. We'll check you on the other side. Enjoy the meeting, and we'll catch up with you with the leadership if you
Yeah.
want.
Before you guys go, I've got a confession. This is the first time I've used Zoom, so I'm not sure what I'm doing.
No worries.
Right. Yeah, Dusty, I know you can't stay on long, but if you have to drop off, I would definitely touch base with you later on. Can't wait to work with you. See what we can do to change our veterans' lives.
Yeah, of course. Just send me an email and I think Raymond, or I called you, but I'm so used to calling people by his last name. I think Chris sent me the email for the weekly meeting.
Mhm.
So definitely be on. I think is it next next Sunday at 2 again?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I should be on
Sounds
there.
good.
I accidentally overlapped my meetings today, so I do apologize for that. That's
No problem.
No worries.
Hey,
And Destiny, if you could reach out to me too, so I can connect you with some of the other things that we've got going on, that'd be awesome.
What's your email?
Um,
Well, you go ahead and
well,
post it in the
I can
chat.
get
and
Joe. I can get Joe to connect it as well too. Yeah, I'll post my email.
All right, roger that. So Troy, we're gonna get to you, and also Washington, we're gonna get to you. We're just gonna explain the rank structures real quick. So I'm gonna share my screen.
All right.
Let's see, here we go. All right, you guys can see it? Can you
Yep.
see the screen? Yep, you got the thumbs up? All right. So as of right now, this is our leadership model. It's extensive. So these are the members that have proven themselves thus far out of 150 individuals. That is really all. These are individuals that have proven themselves. And then we have literally E1 with all the explanations we're working through to E4 is self-development, where we self-develop it, right? And the NCOs, right? We have the NCO structure. We have where every rank is possible and it's within its own command, okay? And we're still working out every fine detail. It's a huge
It kind
project.
of sounds like a new civil service, really.
Right, but this is all volunteer based. This doesn't exist yet.
Exactly. No, that's awesome.
Right,
I'm
so this-
complimenting you.
This is all volunteer based on helping veterans get, because the government can only do so much. They cut the umbilical cord on us once we
Right.
drop that service, right? So they have to, by law. So what's the next organization to pick it up? There is nothing that's being able to pick up this problem on state side or federal. So it has to be us, and we're gonna do that. So we're filling in a gap. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I just said awesome.
Oh,
This
roger
is
that.
awesome.
So, okay, we have warrant officers. We're specialized again. We're still working out all the kinks. We know that they specialize in help the commanders, and such as if you're a veteran doctor, veteran psychologist, you might not want to go up. You're not a general practitioner in medical field, right? So you won't be able to really go up if you're just specializing in one aspect. So it might be like the warrant officers. We haven't fully ironed this out, but it'll come to us, and that's what we use, the collective mind. So officers making decisions within the structure, and there's a 45 different commanding generals, and this is a global thing because the United States has 815 United States military bases around the world. Okay, now this is a global thing, so we're gonna have to do that. Let's see, we're gonna stop sharing there. All right, so we got a huge project ahead of us, and it is massive. And we need everybody to kick in what you got. And if we can only do it together. And guess what? I don't get a salary. Nobody else gets a salary. It's literally all the funds are going back into the veteran programs. So
What about 10% for the big guy though? Come on.
no, even the big guy right here, right? He gets money from Google Ads and Apple Ads.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's awesome.
Right. So there it is 100% self-funding, and it's supposed to be generational. Sergeant, you want to pick up on it, on giving some classes that we had together in business and walking through your whole store as just an example of what we changed around for you?
Sure. One of the things we ended up doing was doing an outside walkthrough, inside walkthrough, along with current business model, current everything else going on. where what could be improved, what could be changed, what could be um, brought in. A lot of what we had already, a lot of what Raymond and I were talking about, and needless to say, we really kind of already had sitting in research and development for the store. And we're continuing on with a lot of that. So far, we've gotten a few reviews on how the frozen pizzas are working. We tried it ourselves. Few kinks probably get worked out so we can reduce costs and still get quality product. I know one of the other things I'm going to be doing, not just for the store, but also if I've got okay through everyone here, I'm going to be getting in touch with my financial advisor through First Command, along with some people in USAA, see what kind of financial stuff we can actually help bring to the club itself. And I know there's free checking, absolutely free through USAA. I'm not sure what the bank at First Command does. And but First Command also has individual, what do you call it? Portfolios that they can put together for mutual funds and stock options, retirement, the whole 9 yards. They do a little more than USAA does, but USAA also does some things that First Command does not. So they're both very similar, and I'm going to look into both sides to see who's got what's best for the entire club here.
Roger that. Thank you, Sergeant. Anybody else got to pick up, or up? It seems like Washington. This is all you. I'm good on my part, unless somebody got a question.
I was going to say at this point, we'd open up to Q&A and any general conversation. Like if you guys have something you want to see that we haven't gone over yet, or if we have something that's already going and we just didn't talk about it and maybe you don't know about it. So this is when we kind of open up the mic. We don't have a huge amount of people here. If we had like 10 or more, I'd try to do it to a hand raise system, but we don't have that. So it's
I
kind
want
of
to hear from Troy. He's been sitting there quiet. I want to hear about Troy.
Well, yeah, so this is obviously my first one. Ian, am I saying it right?
Yes.
Name Ian? Okay. Yeah, so Ian told me about the group last week. Because we're in a veterans group together. I'm sure we're in multiple veterans groups together. So I was just checking it out. I'm retiring June 30th. That's my official date, 20 years and like 7 months.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. But so I own my own business. I actually do life insurance, a little bit of health insurance, and retirement planning, or assist with retirement planning. So my pretty much whole thoughts while sitting here is, like what can I do? What kind of services or what kind of education, I guess, because I love teaching. I did a lot of it in the Army, drill instructor, and as an actual instructor too. So my main thing is like what kind of resources or what kind of things could I provide to help the group, pretty much is what I want to know.
All right.
Find your niche, that's for sure. It'll come to you.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
I'm actually looking at the website right now. I'm just going through the website. I didn't even realize there was a website until I just researched it.
No worries. I was going to say, Troy, what we could do for you is, since you like to teach things, what we'll do is, especially if you have your own business that you're setting up outside of it, we'd have you on one of our, typically on Mondays right now, what the leadership is doing is any services that could be applied to us, we'll have them come present. Now, you teaching classes, if I'm not entirely sure if we'd have to have you present, it depends on what kind of classes you're teaching and how you're willing to do it with the group. So the only thing that we do for presentations is if you're offering a service that obviously has to be paid for. Like, for example, Legal Shield has to be paid for. There's no way to offer it for free. So on and so forth. However, I'm also going to be teaching coaching classes on primarily leadership, business leadership, personal leadership, goal setting and such of that nature, which all falls under leadership. I'll be teaching a lot of that. So if you have classes you could teach, like especially financial education, somebody will definitely need to fill that slot. We will, because when people are, one of the things that we're looking at is when we start getting people who are coming out or are already out, the biggest lack of knowledge in our country today is financial education. Most people have no clue what it is. And that you see that most effectively when it hits veterans. Because unlike the other people who, get out of high school, go to college and are working through jobs, we go to a completely different culture and lifestyle, aka military lifestyle. And then we get airdropped back in society and we're expected to understand and fit in.
Yeah.
And the biggest roadblock for us on that aspect is the financial education aspect. So if you are willing to do that, we'll definitely talk to you. We'll set up a meeting with you with just the leadership later on, and we'll go over that and see what we can do for you. Probably get you put into the leadership yourself if you're wanting. So
Perfect. Yeah, for sure.
And I believe Mr. Washington over there is actually Darren Johnson. Am I right? The Washington's Last Resort.
Yeah. Can you hear me or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on. So I usually use
Zoom.
Microsoft Teams. Well, first or second, I think I got my Puerto Rico job from Zoom, but it wasn't on this device. Anyway, let's see here. Do you hit start video to do your camera or what?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. How's that? It's cold up here in North Dakota. Anyway, I'm working with the we built a 31 unit building in Camp Grafton by Devil's Lake, North Dakota here last year for Gleason Construction. That's Dennis. And I work with Al Gleason too, and he does a lot of work on the Spirit Lake Nation. And I'm actually trying to work with Elon Musk to 3D print like 100 houses in 100 days. It'll probably take longer to finish them out, but I think we can print like a house a day. So that's what we're going to try it there first. And then we'd like to talk to the North Dakota National Guard, who I have been talking to, and try and print some buildings for veterans or whatnot.
I saw something
like
recently about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a lot of money in North Dakota. They actually, Biden actually did something good and sent us some money. So thankful for that.
Yeah. Kind Yeah.
And that's about it. That's all I got. I wasn't really prepared today for this meeting, but we kind of set up a little. So I'll have some. I'll probably have some. I'll be talking to Spirit Lake Housing here this coming week, so I'll probably have some more information on that, and then I'll probably talk to either Rick Wohl or Clark Johnson from the North Dakota National Guards this week too about doing something with them. And also, I have the 160-acre farm that I'd like to print hemp block houses, or either block houses or 3D print them with hempcrete. And I want to have a concert, the Freedom Festival around the 4th of July sometime to raise money for your cause.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we'll definitely get for you, Darren, is we'll also get you into a leadership meeting with all the leaders so that we can discuss what all you can do and everything of that nature as well. Because basically I just shared a little bit of information on it, and you went to town. You practically started dancing on the spot. And I've been in North Dakota, so I know dancing on the spot actually feels quite good in North Dakota every now and then. I lived there for
dance monkey, right?
Yeah. I'm one of those crazy people that when a couple of years ago, you remember how Texas got real cold and everybody was like they shut down everything.
I remember that.
It was like -40 in North Dakota at the time. And so they're all like, they're freaking out because it's 40 degrees. And we're like, looking at him like, what? So then it got up, you know, the temperature went up again. It was 0 degrees. And I go outside with nothing but a pair of swim trunks on. I'm like, oh, it's getting warm. And I posted a picture and I threw it on everybody I knew in Texas. I threw it up there. I'm like, it's getting warm. It's 0 degrees.
Hey, I
We'll
grew
do
up
the
in
same thing
Connecticut.
with
I feel the
the-
same way.
Yeah. Anyway, it was fun talking to you guys. I'm glad we actually got organized.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, no worries. We actually still have technically 30 minutes. If you guys have questions, anything that you don't necessarily understand about the site right now, or anything you want to see that, like anything you want, like, or problems that you see with veterans right now that you'd like to see us try and cover, eventually, because our end goal is to actually cover all the problems from veterans as a group. And that's also by outreaching to other veteran groups and so on and so forth. But yeah. And welcome, Walter, to the group.
We got a surprise guest. Okay, we got a surprise guest coming. Okay, Mr. Walter, welcome. I hope church service went well. I know he's got a short window, so he jumped in for us. He's looking to partner with us. He has a unique product he's working on. Can you hear me, Walter? Thumbs up. Roger that. So he's working on a unique project. Special guest. I love that. I love when a special guest comes in. So he is networking and created a social networking app that allows all veteran organizations to house in one spot, including VSOs, law firms, and businesses such as, hey, Troy, you have a business and it's going to be launched within that. And we're looking to partner together and develop that. We're still in the very early, like, but we really love each other's what we're both doing, and how we can help each other out and help the veteran community is the most important thing on the bottom line with that. So Walter, you want to take over for a little bit?
Yeah, I just got a handful of minutes. Thanks, guys. I'm still at church. I had to teach a bunch of 12 to 17-year-old boys Isaiah, and it's been a little difficult. That's kind of a tough thing to do. Hopefully I'm coming through okay. I don't have that good reception. But in essence, I'm an Army vet, ordnance officer. My background is in commercial real estate, but I had a couple choice opportunities that I felt inspired to create something that I feel is going to be a helpful ecosystem of support for veterans. So effectively, it's called Support Vets. It's a mobile app that helps consumers find veteran-owned businesses and helps veterans find service organizations, whether they be nonprofit or publicly funded, like VA resources, in a single place. That's just the beginning. It's meant to grow into an ecosystem of support where we can house educational materials for entrepreneurism, opportunities for seed funding, opportunities to post for events, but most importantly, it allows us as veterans to have a voice and to validate. There's a lot of organizations, whether nonprofit or profit, that aren't doing a lot of good, though it's said that they're doing a lot of good. And I think that there's a lot of people that lose faith in veteran owned, that have a less than desirable experience. So within the app, it'll be functional. By May is when the advanced MVP will be available for people to start using, where certified veterans will be able to vote, to rank nonprofits, to rank the public offerings, as well as the veteran owned businesses. So we as a community can start validating those that are doing amazing good things.
Awesome.
And I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of folks in the last handful of weeks as I've been starting to post things on Facebook and social media about the offering. And it's being well received because it feels like we as a veteran community need to come together, to have a strength and unity, to support each other. I've been talking to a couple people. Yeah, veteran owned means it's more expensive and it's less quality. And I was like, well, one, that means they had a bad experience. Two, I hope that's not truly the case. If so, we as vets got to square that away quick.
Right.
And we can do that together. So I'm excited to be able to discuss with your group and find a way that we can collaborate. I'm all about collaboration and integration. My tech has been developed in a way that it is very much accessible through APIs, so as to be able to facilitate counter interactions, pushing and pulling of data. It's going to be amazing. And my hope is that we all can find an opportunity to come together nationwide and find support that we need much easier. So again, Walter, Brock, you can hit me up on any social. Love to be able to get to know all of you. The Support Vets group is there on Facebook, which is where I'm trying to put everyone through, because come May, when the soft launch occurs, we're going to need a lot of help with everyone in their local area to validate, hey, did I miss any veteran-owned businesses or vet service organizations in the area? Does the categorization not look just right? Is there keyword searches that we need to have that we don't have? Like we as a community build the tool. So that's kind of the long-winded diatribe of what I'm working on and what I'm doing. But I think what you guys are doing is amazing from what I've learned, and I look forward to collaborating.
Amen. Amen to that.
Sounds good.
You got anything on that, Captain Joe? We got 2 people promoted today to in our rank structure, so they're doing their own thing in public relations. We have Joe.
Yeah.
He's going to be dealing with talking with a partner and with brother and sister organizations such as VFW. And what else we got, Joe? Who else?
We got American Legion, AmVets. There's a whole bunch of organizations that we're definitely I'm looking at tying in. Definitely want to work with you, Walter. Sounds like what you have created would be a great tool for us to kind of get everything pulled together, because we're going to need to know all these different support, because we don't know where our veterans are going to be at. And, it's like if they're in a different state than where I'm at, I'm not going to know where to call out. So we need to find that information local to be able to get people to our veteran that needs that help. So, I mean, it's going to be great. Yeah. If you come on board, yeah, I'll definitely be working together. That's for sure. I can't wait.
Awesome. And I'm willing, if you want me to show you like the app that's functional now, I can screen share and show you guys or whatever. I mean, like, it's a pretty amazing tool. Everyone that's seen it's like, wow, that's awesome. And just wait until it keeps going.
I think, Chris, what do you think? Later on, we'll set up a time with the leadership and then kind of just go over that.
Cool.
Roger that.
Yeah, I already wrote him down for that. I was figuring, Walter, that we definitely get together with you, because it sounds to me like your service is actually going to be solving a massive problem that we are looking at, which would be, as Joe was saying over there, when we have a, veteran come in and he's in Hawaii, none of us are in Hawaii.
Right.
So we have no idea who to network him out to. And that would take, then, we'd have to sit down and start looking up everything. But one thing is true, veterans take care of veterans better than anybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a fact. So the fact that we'll have a veteran
approach.
Network through your app is even better, because then not only will we be helping the veteran find other veterans, that actually puts us a step ahead, period. So I think your app is massive.
Yeah, well, I'm currently cleansing a list of 28,000 organizations and businesses, and then I've got another 8 to 10,000 that I'm trying to source. I don't know how many are going to be clean enough that I can put in initially, but there are 1.7 to 2.5 million vet-owned businesses, like 400,000 or 500,000 VSOs. Nobody has a good number. By end of 2030, they'll all be in support vets. That's my goal. So we're going to get it done, but I can't do it alone, right? We all got to do it together.
Right.
And that's only
our goal. We're going to handle the business side, cultivate the business owners and everything, such as Mitchell over there. We're cultivating him, and we're working together. So it's a 2-prong approach, and we're doing an L-salt on this one. I love it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I was going to say, Walter, that's also only the businesses that are actually listed in the veterans list that the government has. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of businesses that I know of that are owned by and run by veterans, and they're not on that list of veteran-owned businesses. So there's a lot more than just that.
All I need is websites. If you guys can feed me the websites of any vet-owned business or vet service org that you're aware of, I can get. So I've got a data partner that I'm having them actually run through. Here's the websites, capture all the data that's on their website, and let's get it in an ingestible format. I just don't have the time. It takes 8 to 10 minutes for each organization, right? And I only get 5 hours of sleep every night anyway. I can't cut that anymore. But
Right. So
we know how veterans it is, right?
We
Sleep is a crutch.
Hey guys,
once we start stamping them out, go ahead.
it also really good, and I'm actually a pretty busy man myself, so I wasn't really prepared for this today, so I'm gonna get going. But Ian, I'll stay in touch with you during the week and kind of let you know my progress, I guess, on the things. And I'll see you guys all 2 o'clock next Sunday, correct?
Yep.
Roger that.
Sounds
All right.
good.
Thank you, guys. Have a blessed
Have a
day.
good one. You as well.
All right, Ian, take over for it.
Any other questions? You look like you got something that you're trying to say, Walter.
Any other questions? I'd love to everyone have the understanding, like, this is an ecosystem that's being developed. I'm not in it for an exit. I'm not in it to make $1 billion. I've literally invested a lot to pay it forward to the vets that deserve this ecosystem that should exist, but the government can't pull their head out sufficient to be able to, despite the millions and millions of dollars spent to help veterans, like, it doesn't exist. So anybody that wants to collaborate, to communicate, hit me up on social or whatever. I don't have enough time to talk to everybody through Zoom and everything that I want to, but at the same time, I want to support, and you guys are doing amazing things. So just let me know kind of when your leadership group can get together. I can show you where I'm at, future facing functionality. They'll be live in May. And again, sorry to just freaking parachute in on your
Oh, you're good.
meeting, but I appreciate the opportunity.
That's why we actually have that open space right now where it's kind of open mic / Q&As, because I mean, we're all veterans. We're all used to, literally things rushing into our door at the exact second you don't expect it. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of have that just for that reason. Whereas most like business networking aspects, they're so structured, they don't have an open space. You know what I mean? So it's just, and one of the big things, and this is one of our longer term goals, but one of our longer term goals is, as veterans, since we're helping uplift each other, we're actually kind of essentially looking to make the veteran class, have your lower class, middle class, upper class. Middle class is kind of disappearing, but we're kind of wanting to uplift veterans so that we can actually live at a higher status than other people do, both mentally and actual lifestyle wise. That's a long-term goal, and I could see that your app will definitely help push us further in that regard. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Let's make the long-term goal a short-term goal, because every veteran and their families that have sacrificed deserve that elevated living. Like, the American dream is lived by generally the civilians that didn't sacrifice for it, and then the veterans left behind and struggling to try to secure that dream for them and their families. So it totally resonates. I'm 100% on board. Let's do it.
I got a question. So Troy, you're still on active duty, is that correct?
It is correct, yes.
How do you feel about coming into an organization such as ours, Veteran Hundo Club, and also with a partnership with Brock, if this was to be existing already versus it not existing? We're still working on it, of course, as you can see. How would you feel at coming out from active duty, saying you're getting a warm handoff into all these services versus what's currently available?
I think it's great. I mean, I could go on about my experiences, but I was kind of lost there for a little bit on what I wanted to do. I went through the whole TAP process and whatnot, but I also got forced to go to Poland, so I was actually supposed to retire last year. So I didn't really, I guess, utilize all the resources I could have. And they say a lot of times, like when people get out of the military, they're always looking for something, because they want to be a part of something else. And honestly, for a while, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really give a shit about it. I was like, nah, man, I'm good by myself. I spent my life by myself. I mean, I got my wife, obviously, and, our family, but then I was thinking about it, and I'm sitting at home, because I work from home, and I was like, man, it's kind of boring, man. I don't have anybody to talk to. I can't relate to anybody anymore. I was with a bunch of MPs, and I don't want to talk to them anymore. So, what I mean? It's like I was looking for something, and then luckily Ian hit me up about this, and I was like, you know what? Let me give this a chance. And then as everybody's talking, like the wheels are just spinning of like things that I want to talk about, things I want to go over, things I think would be great. Walter, I sent you a friend request on Facebook, by the way. I didn't realize that was you that was in the support vets or group or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was you doing it. So I just checked and made sure. No, I didn't piece that together. I think it's great. I like you were talking about earlier, the the resources might be there, but a lot of the soldiers, you know, they don't go out and look for them. They think, a lot of people think, oh, well, if I have to know about it, somebody's going to tell me about it. But like, that's not really the case, man. Like you have to go look, and I'm finding that out every single day. You have to go look for these resources. But I would love to be part of this and be that one person who says, hey, you know, all these people here, like, you know, how you get out and you have the retirement briefings that really is kind of a waste of time. I would like to be that person saying, hey, this is what's really going to happen. This is really the process because I've done it. And here's all your resources right here. Versus where they say, you know, the speakers just talk so loud, or sorry, not so loud, so fast, just to get it over with, just to check the block, as they say, as we do so many times in the military.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's outstanding. I think we could, I'd say I'm already putting myself in that situation.
Amen. You know,
We
Oh,
could
that's
put all this
exactly
together
it.
and just make it outstanding, and then just continually grow it and grow it and grow it and grow it till it's, you know, so freaking huge that it just takes over the world. So
I was
And
given sheets of papers with all these different contact numbers and
yeah,
stuff like that. Goes, here's your out processing. Here's all your contacts,
Yeah.
you know, in the state of Kansas. And here's a computer you can look for a job. And these are the sites we recommend you go to. And this is how you build a resume. And see you later. That's about it.
yeah, and that whole resume thing, I posted yesterday in one of the chats about a resume because I'm refining my resume, and then I did a federal resume because you never know.
Yeah.
I actually kind of wanted to go work for the VA, and I still do because I want to help out, you know, veterans with their VA issues. There's so many that I've seen lately, especially in these veteran groups. But everybody I talk to, all these resources that are supposed to help you with the resume, they're not really helping you at all. They just say, well, just build it and then we'll check it. And I'm
Right.
like, but I need assistance with building it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and waste all of my time doing this, and you're gonna be like, oh, that's not good enough. You gotta go do this else. And I'm like, man, you know, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
I believe my service could actually possibly help you with that, Troy. Because I'll talk to you about that on a separate occasion. But I was
Okay.
gonna say, when you're sitting here apologizing about saying we, I wouldn't apologize about that, because whether you know this or not, that's one of our little hidden, like we have like these little hidden things. That's one of our hidden cues to see whether you're actually going to fit with us or not. And I believe you also did it, Walter, because if you're already disassociating yourself from us, and then you come in here and you don't say we at all, it's kind of like, is he really part of the group, or is he just kind of doing whatever? But you are completely right. And one thing that a lot of people don't know. So I spend my mornings listening to Earl Nightingale, right? And Earl Nightingale teaches life success, mental processes basically, and self-development for that. So one thing that he goes over is when you are looking to move forward in your life, you have to have a group of somewhat like-minded individuals that you can brainstorm with, that we build. Like, my ideas inspire you, and then you create your ideas, they inspire me, and then inspires Joe, it inspires Walter, and we inspire each other just by having these conversations. If you don't have that, your ability to actually acquire the success that you're looking for is significantly lowered. And so without even trying, you've already basically fit yourself into our group. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's not something that you can just Google and find out. As
Thank
far
you
as the
so
whole
much.
resume thing,
Thank you so much, Troy, for sharing that and being vulnerable. It really is. I put you on the spot there. That wasn't Q&A. That wasn't
That's fine.
practice. So I just wanted to ask you, what's your current rank in the branch service?
It's on first class.
Sergeant First Class. Thank you so much for your service, Sergeant First Class. I appreciate that. I was the Army. Joe was Army. Mitchell was Army. Ian was Marine Corps.
Couldn't tell behind me. Not at all.
No, not at all. I can't read. Without these things, I can't do anything. So,
Yeah.
And Walter, what was your branch service?
Army.
Army. So, okay, we got one Marine. We got one crayon eating here. So we
my
everybody.
Navy guy didn't show up today. I had a
Oh,
Navy
you're-
guy who might show up, and he hasn't shown up yet. The fitness instructor. So
Yeah.
I served with a lot of Marines in Iraq, and I loved every one of them. They were all outstanding, and in Kuwait. So, yeah,
I've worked with
I'm much
some
like
too.
them.
Yeah.
Troy, what you said though, it's interesting. I think the biggest handicap we as veterans have is our self-reliance, because especially during transition, I'm going to figure it out myself. We're going to slug it through ourselves, and then all we need to do is fire up a flare. We need to have that community be ready to help, because there's no sense in every veteran freaking diving into the briar patch and trying to slug their way through it when
Yeah.
a bunch of us have already went through there and we've already broken that path. We've trailblazed it, But I think that says a lot to the just innate strength of veterans and the quality of people that we are. But it is a we. And what's amazing is, like, in those small Facebook posts I've done so far, I've already got 2 groups in the UK and 1 in Austria that have submitted. Like, there are international veterans that are interested in creating a fabric that's worldwide. So, I mean, the we is needs to be written in stone, because that's the only way we're going to succeed is together.
Here's the easiest way I put that. Okay. When we were on the battlefield, did we fight for ourselves? Or did we fight the guy to our left and right? So why is it, if I fought for this dude and I fought for this dude, why is it when I get into the civilian world, it all has to be me and only me? We
That's
can't
true,
function
yeah.
that way. In fact, humans can't function that way, but we're trained to function as a team so much better that if we try to go alone, it's like it's like putting ourselves inside of an Iron Maiden. We have to fight, you have to have someone else open the Iron Maiden for us to get out. But it is about the we, we fight for the people to our left and right. We don't fight for ourselves. At least to my knowledge, I've never run into anybody who actually fights for themselves. So,
Well, I mean, there was an old song from the 70s, "We Are Family." And I mean, truthfully, with military upbringing, I mean, I was a Navy brat and Air Force brat, active duty Air Force, security police. And I mean, yeah, you're fighting. And I mean, you're not just fighting for those that are in your branch of the service. I was on a lot of joint bases with Army, Marine Corps, even Navy. And I mean, will I turn and look at a Marine, call him a squid just to piss him off? Yeah. And then I'll turn and I'll give him a hug or smack him on the back. Because I mean, we rib each other. We do that. It's what we do. And civilians, they don't get that because, and you're right. I mean, they're not taught to help the others. One of the reasons I actually love living where I live here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is everywhere else I've lived, you break down on the side of the road, everyone just keeps going by. Up here in the UP, you got people actually stopping. And okay, with North Dakota, same thing happens there. People will stop because they've learned through adversity, kind of like we did, that you always will need some help. So it's like I stay out of cities. I can't be near people too much anyway. So it's like we fight for our family, whether they be blood or whether they be green. Doesn't matter. So.
Copy that.
Amen, man. I got to run. The bishop's calling me, but thank you guys for your time today. Or to
Thanks for
collaborate
your
with all.
time, Walter. We'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy.
Yeah, I'll look you up, Walter.
Enjoy the Lord's Day.
Amen.
All right, Troy, we got 5 more minutes until we call it quits. So how can we help you? Let's start with that. So we've been helping each other. I've been helping Joe with VA claims. I've been helping Joe with developing website. I've been helping Mitchell with Sergeant Mitchell with his again, there's a veteran ranks here, just with his store, as he explained. And I've been helping Ian with he's been helping with mental state, like mental knowing colors of personalities and things like that. And I've been helping him with VA claims. And so what can we do for you? And I know for sure you're opening a new business. So I'm going to get you in touch with Mr. Finch, who is our Golden Touch business coach. And he's been doing it for 40 years. He's my partner, our partner, excuse me. I'm still getting used to that concept, but I love it. Our partner, and he comes back in 2 weeks or a week and a half-ish, and we can get you set up. So when you hit the ground, you have your website up and running, you're good to go. Or whatever else we can prepare you for the next battlefield, So
So I guess I got two things. So I do have a website. It's not the greatest, obviously. I was not into technology before I started my own business, but the selfish part of me would be like, yes, I need referrals. I need all these people to help my business grow. But in all reality, I don't believe in, I feel like I really should be helping out people more than worry about helping myself. Um, One thing I would say is keep me busy. Like, I need something to do. I don't, if you notice, I fidget around a lot. I can't sit here. It's weird to me. But like I love, like I put in the chat, I love writing so much. I have 3 degrees, no idea why. I just like to write and do research. So I just use the government's money to get my degrees. And I started again in August for a master in finance because I wanted to do something like that to help my business. And plus I have a whole GI Bill I need to use. Um, if there's anything do you want like to assist with, no matter, it doesn't have to be finance or anything, it could be anything. Just hit me up. I'll put my email in the group chat now too, and my phone number. Can I do that? Phone number?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
research is something that we would definitely need for
Yeah,
sure.
I love doing research all the time. Like I said, I work from home, so I'm constantly on the computer. And being a good housewife because my wife's the breadwinner. So um my wife's laughing in the background. We
we
also have
we
5 dogs to take care of,
we
so I gotta stay at home with him.
we have a
Um,
new organization, so we have a million spaces to fit. And
yeah,
this is just the American command, not the active duty command yet, or the family support command yet. We're gonna have 3 different social networking platforms that are gonna be for the entire United States, and then clone and copy and start some Star Wars stuff and start some going to Canada and everywhere else. So definitely in the webinars, when we start doing webinar classes, I think it would be great to have you join on, or anything like that. So there's plenty of work to do.
yeah.
You can ask these gentlemen, they're saying no more work.
Yeah, just shoot me whatever it is, and I'll see what I can possibly do. I also know obviously a lot of civilian business rent or civilian businesses. I'm from Texas, so I deal with a lot of primarily East Texas businesses. Because I'm big into supporting small businesses. So if there's something obviously I can't find out, then I will obviously hit up some other business owners. I knew numerous people that work for the VA, some VSOs. I'm sure as y'all do too. So just let me know what it is, and I can do what I can to pretty much just let me know however I can help to build that's and grow the organization.
Well, I
When we
personally no.
I know for a fact that some of the veterans are having problems trying to find some records,
Yeah,
and and it's preventing them from getting benefits that they need. So that's something that, some research on that would be a big help. That's for sure. Trying to find these records or whatever, at least sources for us to try, some more sources to try other than the traditional route, and stuff like that. It's been like pulling teeth trying to find, you know, um, oh, sorry, well, they didn't have this or they didn't have that or whatever. So,
so
because, and Chris knows all these other little loopholes and stuff like that to be able to, get the validation so we can get the benefits as well. But,
yeah.
we'll try the due diligence to see what we can find. But research is a big help.
Okay, yeah.
Amen.
I'm actually
So
going through the VA claims process right now, so I'm learning as I'm going with the process right now. So
I will make a one-on-one appointment with you. I'm a coach, and I'm gonna tell you all the ins and outs, Troy.
okay.
So yes, so we're looking to house all 3 in 1, so that way this issue never happens again. So for example, I got out and I was 100% certified on disabled off the bat because I have a neurological disorder that can cause death. That's from active duty, conversion disorder with motor deficit. I didn't get help from the VSOs. I didn't get help from VA hospitals. I didn't get help from law firms, and I didn't get help um, from private companies like VA Claims Insiders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, there's enough is enough. This needs to change. So that's how it got started. It's just gonna grow from there. As you said, it's just gonna take over the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, So that's very important is that we have the veteran service officers, and I'm trying to build that right now and trying to reach out to every veteran service officer wants to at least make it aware that we're going to need those because it's a 4-prong approach. The first approach, towards economic stability, right? Is having whatever you're entitled to is what you're entitled to. Okay, so the next thing, right? I do the VA claims coaching. The VSO verifies it. The law firm is the enforcement and the justice, and then you have the social proofing of 18.5 million United States veterans. That's our target goal, right? So no matter what, every veteran is going to get what they're entitled to again. They will never have to be an appeals process ever again. It'll be over. That's the idea. That's one of the ideas of how we're going to improve. So Danny, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I can hear you, but I don't know. Something again with technique is going wrong. Good evening or whatever, good afternoon in the States. But I can't see myself. I don't know what's going on now, though. But
Okay, so Danny is our service security officer. He's going to give a quick update on what's going on with Hundo Club and who's checking us out. And he's certified in Interpol and everything else. So.
But a question before can you see me or not?
No.
No, I don't know what's going on, Chris, but crazy. I can see myself and then, but no. Okay. Well, I have to do it without see that you can see myself. I see a new face for me, Mr. Dodson. Nice to meet you. I'm Danny. I'm currently in the Netherlands. The other guys we already met. Good afternoon also. Well, Christopher asked me to attend tonight as the Chief Security Officer of Hundo, and I'd like to attend as much as I can. We had a short meeting already this week, and we also discussed some things. The only news that I have, and I can talk hours and hours with you about all the things that we do or we can do, is that with this young organization that we're in, we're getting much more attention, as I told also to Joseph and to Ian last week, that the big firms and also the governments, they are looking over our shoulder what we are doing. And as a figure of speech, I made a little joke. I said, yeah, we're still on the web because we got approval and we're not doing anything wrong, but a good cause. And well, in the upcoming months, we have lots of work. Also spoke personally yesterday to Joseph about this, about the workload and everything. And there are some things that I'm working out now that I like to discuss in a next formal meeting. And just with the help of each other, I think it will be very needed in the growth that we are seeing already and the expansion. So as said, I can talk about a lot of things, but yeah, it's too premature, I think, to go in depth with all those things. You can always ask me questions. That's why I'm here, and therefore, but yeah, that's for me now, Chris, what I want to share.
All right, thank you, Danny. Anybody got any need any security updates or anything? Or what's going on? So we have va.gov checking us out. They're verifying us. He's able to notify us about that. So we have some top organizations checking us out with that, and big corporate entities as well. So even though we're still in the womb and cooking, this baby wants out, right? So.
Push.
Push. Anybody got anything else? And that closes this week's sessions, and we'll. All right, Ian, you got anything for us?
No, I was just gonna say, thanks for showing up. Everyone who is here, it's nice to see everybody. Danny, I'm not sure if we're blessed or cursed not to see you today, so that will come from the future. But yeah, it was nice to see you, everybody. We had a lot of people come in who are very excited about it. Troy, I look forward to seeing what we can do and get you doing, and we'll go from there. Looks like we have a lot of side meetings to set up here, so
Sounds like it.
All right, scribe. Where's the scribe? Where's the scribe?
I'm called to the front of the store, so.
Oh, you're
All
good.
right.
We're ending our call right now, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
right.
for all meetings, pretty much.
Oh, gotcha.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you so much, guys.
Take care, guys. See ya.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Have a good one.